So we all know Pokemon, right? It's that game where you kidnap and imprison make-believe animals, and then you make them fight each other to their death just for the amusement of humans. There's this other game that's been causing quite a stir on the internet lately, and I think you guys already know what game I'm about to talk about.
Buddy, you think you look strong? You're wearing a cape. You're just a cheap fucking knockoff. Oh no. I'm the upgrade.
The game is called Palworld, and it was released on the 19th of January, and it's faced quite a lot of legal concerns. So what is Palworld, you might ask? Nobody asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Well, the game objective is to fight, farm, build, and work alongside mysterious creatures called pals in this completely new multiplayer open world survival crafting game. So what do these pals actually look like? They look like Pokemon. They look very much like Pokemon. So side-by-side comparison, this first one is called Fanglope, which is from Palworld, and then the second one is Cobalion from Pokemon. Very much alike, very much, they nearly got it to the actual T. And then the second image is Estagon, and the one on the right from Pokemon is Mecha Agron. Also, I don't know how to fully pronounce some of these names, okay? So just bear with me. Just hold back the insulting comments. Now this one's an interesting one. This one on the left from Palworld is Anubis, and then the one on the right from Pokemon is Lucario, which is, I believe, I haven't played it in a while, may have been one of the starting Pokemon. Could be completely wrong. It's been a while. I'm quite old now. Bring back Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and all them. I'm not up to date with all the latest generations, okay? And then this one, they just didn't make an effort to hide it. This one's Lamball, and then the Pokemon version's Wooloo. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious. So this one annoyed me because I'm just gonna say this is one of my favorite Pokemon, okay? So the one on the left is Grizzbolt from Palworld, and the one on the right is Electabuzz from Pokemon. It just looks so obvious. It looks so obvious. So at this point, it looks like they're taking a lot of inspiration from Pokemon.
Lambo, Cativan, Chickapee, Lithma, Jolthog, Vixie, Hookrities, Rutshore, Bugler, Celery, Direhowl, Floppy, Bucksparks, Ruby, Pansy, Depresso. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Palworld.
Heck, it's even got to the point where the company behind Pokemon are now launching an investigation into Palworld. So they've stated, we have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. I don't know why it got so deep and emotional by the end of that statement, but in summary, they are launching an investigation, which is something that Palworld needs to be concerned about. On the other hand, the company called Pocketware, who are responsible for Palworld, the people behind Palworld, are launching their own trading card game. Pocketware, behind Palworld, CEO, not even going to pronounce that name, not a chance, but it's a CEO. We get it. Tweeted this teaser of a trading card game. These guys are like Pokemon 2.0, and then obviously there's just photos. It looks quite similar to Pokemon, not completely similar, but you can see where they're coming from with the types of Pokemon and the color and, you know, the design and stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, at this point, you probably think to yourself, how could this possibly get any worse? Well, wait a second. Some guy decided to mod Palworld, and if we know anything about modding, it can be a very curious and cursed realm in the community of games. And this guy decided to mod in Ash Ketchum in Palworld. And if there's one way to piss off Nintendo, this guy's absolutely hit the nail on the head. So the guy behind the modding, his name is Toasted, and he posted on Twitter on the 22nd of January saying Nintendo is coming for me. Kind of referencing the media that he'd posted beforehand, which kind of showcased his modding, I believe. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo go full out and send the Yakuza to his front doorstep. Now, unfortunately, a lot of Pokemon fans haven't taken this lightly and have resorted to extreme lengths. And one of the developers of Palworld had come out and openly spoken about receiving death threats. So he spoke to IGN and he quoted, "Frantically working through all my DMs and emails, I promise. However, you'll excuse me if I skip over the death threats to the company, and massively outlandish claims." Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but sending death threats to someone over them taking inspiration from another game is quite possibly worse than the whole argument. Now, I don't hold any personal opinions on this. I haven't played Palworld. Obviously, I played Pokemon. I haven't played Palworld, but what I will say is this game is doing incredibly well right now. Palworld has sold over 8 million copies in less than 6 days. Thank you very much. As stated previously, we continue to work at full speed on addressing bugs and issues. Thanks for your support. Whether you play Palworld or Pokemon, one thing that you can't argue is those are amazing figures right there and a really big milestone for the company. And then alongside that, it's become the second most popular game in Steam's history. Now, I think a lot of the comparison with Pokemon is coming from the design element of the game. For what I know, this game offers a fresh approach. So let's just take the Pokemon or Pals aside for a second and just look at what the game offers. So there's a strong survival element in the game. You get to build bases as well. Alongside that, instead of throwing a Pokeball at one of your Pokemon, you actually get to batter the shit out of one of your pals before taking it home and looking after it. Make that make sense. And one thing I love to see is what the devs have done on this occasion. They have continued to offer their support and development throughout the game, announcing that there's going to be PvP modes in the future, raid bosses, and new islands to explore, which obviously showcases the dedication they have for the game and the fan base, unlike another game called The Day Before. I reckon this game is going to be around for a while and going to be probably one of, if not the biggest competitor that Pokemon actually has at the moment. Not a lot of game companies have tried to hit Pokemon because Pokemon have nailed every element to the T. So it's unexpected when games like this come around and they want to compete against Pokemon. Whether or not there's plagiarism involved or IP law have been breached, I don't know. We have to wait until the legal stuff happens, which is going to be great. One personal opinion that I will give is I love Pokemon. We all grew up around Pokemon. However, it's kept the same formula for years and years, whether it's graphics haven't improved massively throughout the years. And when it comes to gameplay mechanics, it's kind of similar. I think they want to keep that familiarity there for its fan base. But at the same time, Palworld offers that breath of fresh air by offering different mechanics, a different look to the game. It doesn't necessarily look like Pokemon. It looks like Pokemon on steroids. So overall, let me know what your thoughts on this game is. Have you played Palworld? Do you enjoy it? And what are your thoughts on the Pokemon v Palworld situation? Leave the comments below and I'll see you in the next video.